Hey everyone, Steve Powell here. Welcome to this video. So I just got done doing a video. Okay, I don't know when you're watching this video, but I encourage you to watch the one that I just got done doing before you watch this one, because they kind of work in tandem together. But I just got done doing a video on a possible report that talks about UN and Russian and Chinese troops on the move, and about intelligence reports leaking that the Democrats, quite possibly want to bring in the United Nations to forcibly remove Trump if he doesn't step down, or if he keeps, disputing things in the courts, or if he gets a victory in the Supreme Court to overturn any of these results. All right. Okay. So I did that video, and I want to just remind everybody of Dana Coverstone's word back in June, the one that went viral, about how he literally saw in a dream, Russian, Chinese, and UN troops on the ground, and now we're having reports surface to that effect. So I think it is a real and present danger. I think it's a literal threat, not a parabolic or symbolic or just, quote, spiritual threat. I believe that we're living in such precarious and dangerous times for this nation, and we need to really pray. Okay, so there's that. For this video, I want to talk about a word I had, okay, for a few years ago, okay? And it's one of these words that I'll just go ahead and throw it up on the screen here, let you look at it for a second, and I'll come back here in a second once you've read it. This is a snapshot, a screenshot of my journal that I keep on my phone, okay, from September 12th, 2017, okay? And you'll see the part above that I wrote, okay, was a vision I had. And then I mention a definition, okay, a word, and then a definition below that I just pulled off the internet, trying to get understanding of what I just seen in this vision. So check this out. So as you can see there, I have this vision, and I wrote down, I'm watching an interview. The lady is interviewing the Pope. Okay, and she says, what are your thoughts about autocrat Trump? Okay, now an autocrat, according to this definition I pulled off the internet, it's a ruler who has absolute power. Okay, absolute power, dictator. Now, we know that they're already calling Trump that. Okay, but there's a petition that has started circulating calling upon President Trump to use, okay, not dictatorship power, but constitutionally authorized power, okay, that is authorized for the president during times of crisis to use, similar to what Abraham Lincoln used. And there's been lots of prophecies and words from the Lord, relating President Trump to President Lincoln, and that we've reached a point of crisis in this nation that is similar to that time, that could very easily result in a civil war. There's many people who believe that we're at a war right now, and that it's been cold and it's heating up, okay? But President Lincoln, at the time, he suspended habeas corpus, okay? And he suspended the Constitution, and he did some things, okay, which at the time were extremely controversial and would, yes, seem like the acts of a dictator. But now a lot of people looking back at that look favorably upon what Lincoln did and believe that he saved the republic. Okay? And there's a petition circling right now, saints, that's calling upon President Trump to do the same, to call martial law and to redo the election securely with the military having oversight over it, to ensure, okay, that each ballot is counted, and that there's representatives from both parties on both sides looking, as those ballots are counted, that nobody's impeded and nobody's constitutional rights are violated in these democratic, thug-like, mafios cities where all this scandal and fraud came from. All right? So, but I had this dream, okay, or this vision a few years ago, and I'm like, why is this lady interviewing the Pope? Okay, and why are they calling Trump an autocrat, okay, in that vision? And, I didn't know the meaning, okay, I didn't really have much of an interpretation at the time, so this is one that I've kind of kept to myself, and I thought to myself that in time, and I have a lot of visions like this, a lot of dreams, I say, in time, the Lord will give me more understanding about what this means, maybe when it comes closer to the time that it's to be fulfilled. Well, it's very, very interesting, saints. Dana Coverstone had a dream, okay? And it was the data dream, in which he saw these data networks frying all over the nation, which many people believe he saw in advance of the election the voter fraud that was going to take place through Dominion software. Okay, that's what they believe his data network was, that he saw in that dream. But by the time it reached Washington, D.C., and it exploded there in Washington, D.C., there was a funeral, okay, being held at the Capitol building, okay? And he saw a casket, okay? And in the casket, he said, was the Democratic candidate for president, which he later told me in private was, okay, Joe Biden, but he's just trying to be careful, you know, with what he says on Facebook and on the internet right now, because he's under, you know, a major microscope since everything's gone viral. But I believe this is symbolic. I don't believe this is literal. I don't believe Joe Biden's literally going to die. But he saw him in a casket, and on the casket was a note, okay, was some words, and it said December 17th, okay? It had that date, December 17th, and he said it was the death of the Democratic candidate for president, okay? And they couldn't open up the casket. There was one very notable and powerful senator that demanded that the casket be opened, and it wasn't allowed to be opened. There was some sort of a military officer or military presence there that was forbidding it to be opened, okay? And this Democratic senator, very powerful person, was furious, okay? And I'll go ahead and post the link, okay, to that video in the description of this video if you want to go watch the entire dream in its entirety. I believe it's playing out. But here's what I'm getting to, and this is how I'm tying it to my 2017 vision, okay? December 17th happens to be, okay, the Pope's birthday, okay? The current Pope, okay, Pope Francis, okay? His current birthday, the current Pope's birthday is December 17th. And that's also the date, okay, that Dana Coverstone saw the death of the Democratic candidate. So here's what I believe. This is what I honestly believe, saints. I believe that there is something that's about to happen, possibly within the next week, possibly by December 17th, which is the Pope's birthday, okay, in which Trump or representatives within the government that make up the Trump movement, the MAGA movement, I believe we're about to have a major win, and I believe there's about to be a drastic action, okay, that is going to be taken either by Trump or the Supreme Court, okay, that will be on the level and the gravity of some of the actions that were taken during, before, or during, or after the Civil War, okay, in Abraham Lincoln's time, in order to preserve the Union once again. And I believe that when that happens, there's going to be such an outcry from the left and from the Democrats and from people that hate Trump and are never Trumpers, calling him a dictator, okay, and calling him an autocrat, right? But I believe ultimately, just like Dana saw, this is going to be the end of the Democratic Party as we know it, okay? But anyways, I wanted to get this word out, okay, because that December 17th deadline is approaching quickly, okay? And I had this vision all these years ago, and I believe the Lord's given me some insight on possibly what this could represent. Ultimately, what I'm saying, saints, is that there are major, incredibly hard and weighty decisions, okay, that I believe with all my heart that God is going to move on the hearts of people within our government, within our judicial branch, within the heart of our president, all the branches of government. I believe that the Lord's going to move on people in their hearts to do extraordinary things right now, but the blowback is going to be immense. So I believe that's ultimately why I saw that vision back in 2017. This reporter, so that represents the media, right? Interviewing the Pope, saying, what do you think about autocrat Trump? And it also represents an alliance, okay, between what the Pope's doing with trying to create a one world religion, with signing covenants with, the rulers and the leaders of Sunni Islam, and trying to gather up all these world religions. And we know, if you've been following any of that, what's going on there, that there's an antichrist spirit at work to join the whole world together spiritually, religiously, as well as politically and governmentally. And there's an alliance there with what the Pope's doing, the spirit he's moving, and with the media. So that's why in that vision that reporters, interviewing, and they're all together collaboratively, okay, with China, and with these other forces in the world, with the media, okay, the Antichrist spirit, the spirit behind communism. They're all collectively creating this narrative, okay, concerning Trump. And like I've said before, like I've stated before, I don't believe what Abraham Lincoln did ultimately was that of a dictator. It was power that was actually bestowed on him that he lawfully used, delegated by the Constitution. There are certain powers given to our president during times of crisis, and we're in a constitutional crisis right now. Now, there's many people that say, that after Lincoln did that our country was never the same, that there was more power transferred from the states to the federal government than we'd ever seen before, and that's had major ramifications since, and I would agree with that. So ultimately, saints, we got to leave it in the Lord's hands. I'm not saying that this is absolutely 100% the will of the Lord. I pray every day that God would give our president wisdom, He'd give him understanding, and that God would just move on these people. But I believe the Lord's given some warnings here, saints. We haven't seen the end of this, okay? And I believe there's about to be some more very explosive things come down and happen. And we just need to keep praying. We need to keep praying. So anyways, this is sort of connecting the prophetic dots today with some of the stuff I've been praying about, some of the stuff I've been thinking about. So I pray this was a blessing to you. Thanks for sharing this, and thanks for following us on all our platforms, on all our channels, and subscribing to all of our channels and all of our pages so you get videos like this whenever they come available. God bless. Hey, I want to thank you for watching this video on my YouTube channel. Be sure to click the button over here and you can subscribe to our channel and get all the videos that come available right when we release them. Or you can click this button right here and watch another video right now. God bless you.